Folks, ET here coming at you with the pre-market prep. So let's get to it. Okay, so yesterday was another nice move up day. We did have a little bit of action throughout the day, sort of midday of choppy. You can see convergence there waned a little bit. It was weak in other spots. Calls were absolutely bonkers at 80 million and an 80 million divergence. Wild to see. So let's go ahead and see what we might see for the rest of the day. All right, so let's jump into our Dex, another big green bar. That's 3 in a row while we have just ripped upwards. Not sure if we've made this much ground up to the upside in such a short period of time, but boy, are we doing it now. So 3 in a row there for that swing upwards. We'll talk about how maybe it might be time for it to cool off here in a few. Flow map, obviously short term, very bullish. Everything to the right is bought, calls being bought. Is indeed bullish. Over here to the left is sold. Calls being sold is bearish, but that could have just been profit takers who had been holding for a long time. As far as divs go, divs are quite mixed. I would say we had a lot of very positive divs roll through late day, but before that, a lot of negative divs. Could just be a lot of call selling, people taking profits, causing these divergences. These bearish divergences we'll have to see soon. Do not like to see things on here if we're looking for more upside. For some reason, I always think that these are hedges and that we're going to see a reverse play on that. So SPX could, we'll see. We'll take a look at that soon. Now, this was tweeted about last night by the big dog himself, something we talk about all of the time. When we see these big bars, a lot of times we start to see a reversal at some point. So this is just extremely, extremely, extremely bullish on customer sentiment. And if you look back to some of these big bullish bars, you'll start to see that we saw some reversals not long after that. So interesting take. It is subjective. Don't just go super bear. Make sure the data for the day matches up once everything's going live, but keep an eye on that as we go along. Moving along, dark pools had a couple of sig prints yesterday, 591.1, 596.8. Make sure to mark those sig prints on your chart. And then our ag got walked up just a little bit. Now, inverse of what we saw last week when our dark pool sat up top for a little bit and we were super thin below. Now we've got this big fat dark pool right here, and it's really, really, really stacked below price. So around 583, if we tap that for some reason, good spot to see if we can get a bounce. We'll find out soon enough. As for our levels, crazy. Let me go ahead and give a refresh here to get us jumped into our ag. Ag is interesting. Huge positive cluster right here, right? Huge positive cluster price. For some reason, we dipped down to 592. Big cluster there. Be difficult to get through. Interestingly enough, our biggest pull in the ag is 580, and then 595 was the next. And then 610 is up there, kind of matching that 595. So kind of wild to see that. Let's dig into Friday, which sometimes are messy, but when I was looking last night, this one was a little bit more clean. Still messy, but a little bit more clean than usual. So there's that 591, 592 range that we saw in the ag for that positive cluster. So if price can stay above that 591, we have room to that 610 we saw on the ag. We could feasibly drop beneath that area and ping pong around in this area here in this big positive cluster down to 585 if we're having a bad day. But our biggest pull on Friday is still sitting at 595. So what we really have is a potential very wide range. Here's this 581 that we saw earlier, but it was 580, but $1 off, about the same thing. We have a potential very wide range from our green to greens. We just need to find out where we hold. So we hold 591. Probably plenty of upside, a nice range to play back up to 595 each time. Even if we get up to the 610 range, we can assume that maybe if that pull stays there, that we might pull back anyways. So that is all for now. Everybody have a good day. Stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.